at noon, some Gresham High School students are walking out. They are fed up with the way district leadership is handling an incident where a student brought a gun into the classroom. Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Today's walkout follows last night's district school board meeting where Gresham High teachers and students showed up to voice their frustrations. KGW's Sydney Dorner joins us live from the high school now with more. So Sydney, this walkout was supposed to start right at noon, and we're already seeing some kids behind you there this afternoon.
Yes, Drew, it is starting right at noon. As you can see, a large group of students are already beginning to walk over. I just spoke with them a few minutes ago, and they said the plan is to go all the way over to the Gresham Barlow School District, where they will begin to chant. This all escalated almost 2 weeks ago on September 20th, when Gresham police arrested a 17-year-old for bringing a gun into the school. One teacher says a student brought a 9mm gun into his classroom, but the school never went onto lockdown, stressing how police were not called at the time campus security escorted the student out. The teacher, Mark Adamski, says the student was recently hostile in his class, explaining to Gresham High leadership at a board meeting last night they need to do more when it comes to safety.
When you tell me that everything was perfect and we were all scared, I just like them to be able to say, no, this is what we could do better.
Where the question towards what happened on September 20th is no longer what they even did wrong. It is becoming, did they do anything right?
Now, school officials say they heard about the threat from a community member who said the student threatened them with a gun right outside of the school. In a statement, Gresham Barlow School District applauded how administration reacted to the incident. But students and staff want more, saying they don't have confidence in the school board coming to them before with concerns over drug use, frequent fights, and students coming to the school with weapons. Now, the goal of this walkout today is to hear from people teaching and learning here at Gresham High who feel unheard. We'll have more comments from them later today. Drew, China, back to you.
Thank you, Sydney. Other news this afternoon, new data from the Oregon Department of Education shows students continue to struggle academically post-pandemic. So the data shows math and reading rates continue to lag statewide. ODE numbers show less than 43% of kids are proficient in reading. Before the pandemic, it was more than 53%. And in math, 31% of students are proficient. Pre-pandemic, it was 39%. In Portland Public Schools, the biggest school district, scores improved slightly from a year ago. Still, administrators say they still have plenty of work ahead of them.
The Klamath Falls man accused of kidnapping a Seattle woman and holding her in a makeshift cell in his home last year made an appearance in federal court this morning. Nagasi Zuberi faces several charges, including felony kidnapping and attempted escape from jail. Zuberi also allegedly kept several journals where he detailed plans to kidnap and imprison women to create a, quote, underground army of children. Zuberi has been in jail for more than a year now. His trial is set to begin 2 weeks from today on October 17th.
The Troutdale man found guilty of murdering a college student back in 1980 is scheduled to be sentenced in 2 hours at 2 p.m. Back in March, a Multnomah County judge found 60-year-old Robert Plimpton guilty of first-degree murder in the death of 19-year-old Barbara Tucker. Tucker was sexually assaulted and beaten to death in January of 1980 near a parking lot at Mount Hood Community College in Gresham. 4 decades later, new technology allowed police to test DNA evidence, which led to the break in the case. Now to an update on a story that we've been covering for months now. The Gresham firefighter who suffered severe burns on the job back in May will share his experiences later today. Spencer Tejadas suffered burns to more than 45% of his body when he ran into a burning duplex in search of what he thought was a teenager inside. He recovered in the Oregon Burn Center for months before moving to a rehab facility last month. An investigation determined that the house fire was accidental and it was sparked by an unattended candle.
Portland City Council denied an effort to block a new music venue on the east side of the Willamette. That means development of the 3,500-seat venue can move forward. A group of local musicians asked city leaders to stop it, saying that the venue's operator, Live Nation, would harm smaller independent venues. They also raised concerns about traffic and train blockages around the venue site near the east end of the Hawthorne Bridge. But yesterday, city commissioners said they could only rule on whether the venue would violate land use rules, and they ruled that it didn't. Also, a quick reminder here this afternoon, the KGW is partnering with the Oregonian to host a debate later this month featuring the top candidates running for Portland mayor. And you can be a part of the debate by sending us a question for the candidates. Record a short video and email it to debate@kgw.com. You can also scan that QR code right there on your screen for some more details on this. We're going to air the debate live right here on KGW on Tuesday, October 15th, starting at 6:30 p.m.
The death toll continues to climb in states hit by Hurricane Helene. It's estimated more than 200 lives have been lost due to the storm. NBC's Jay Gray reports from Hickory, North Carolina, where crews are working to airlift help to those who need it.
Hey there, we want to give you a first-hand look at the incredible volunteer effort going on to get much needed essential supplies into the areas that are shut off right now. And you can look at all of this donated water, food, diapers, everything you would need, insulin for people who need that. So they load it up and then they take it out here. And you've got Operation Hilo, Operation Airdrop. They're flying into these remote areas and dropping what they can, but they're also bringing people out. This started just after the storm. It continues to build. You've got more than 50 choppers right now involved in what is an extraordinary effort to try and help those in desperate need. That's the latest from here at Hickory Regional Airport. I'm Jay Gray. Now back to you.
All right, Jay Gray live there in North Carolina. Meanwhile, Chris McGinnis in the Weather Center for us. And Chris, out here in Oregon and Southwest Washington, we are experiencing what really is like the best weather you could ask for to start the fall.
This is the October that we all hope that we get, right? We don't always get it like this, but it is coming in very, very nicely. And right now we've got blue sky over downtown Portland. 64 last check at PDX after a very crisp start. So the airport got down to 47. Pearson started the morning off at 42. And check this out. Hillsborough 39, the coldest temperature Hillsborough has had since early June, since before summer. So it's been a while. McMinnville started the morning off at 37. And as I go out wider, Meacham was the cold spot out in the blues at 21 degrees this morning. So a real nip of fall in the air this morning, but a nice recovery out there now. We're up to 66 in Scappoose, 64 in downtown Portland, and at the airport in Salem right now, checking in with 63 degrees. With the offshore breeze that you no doubt feel out there, especially near the gorge and in the Cascade foothills, we do have a red flag warning for elevated fire danger. We've got low humidity, the gusty wind, and the drying fuels means that if there were to see a fire start, something could spread really, really quickly. So just be aware of that with anything that could throw a spark. Otherwise, a gorgeous afternoon in store for us with temperatures inching their way into the mid-70s. We have rain in the forecast tomorrow. We'll look at that with the timing and your weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. A woman from Southwest Portland is on a mission to get more people running and improve their mental health along the way. KGW's Libby Dowsett has that story.
Quadriceps. We're stretching our quadriceps.
Shoshana Gordon, a self-proclaimed runner and trainer extraordinaire, wants us all to experience the thrill of running.
Feet on the pavement, air in my face, smelling the smells. You can get a runner's high. It's basically an exercise high.
Gordon is recruiting runners of all levels to join her for the Still I Run 5K, Thursday, October 10th. The goal, change the stigma associated with mental health problems by focusing on something this simple.
And so if I am struggling with racing thoughts with my ADHD, or my anxiety is very high and I'm stressed out, I know that if I go for a run, especially if I go for a run with my dogs, I always feel so much better.
We know Oregonians appreciate the relaxation of getting outdoors, but according to a study published by Forbes Advisor, Oregon ranks 11th in the nation for worst mental health, based in part on the percentage of people who don't seek care or don't have access to care. It claims nearly 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience a mental health condition each year, yet many are unhappy with the state of mental health treatment in the U.S. Gordon's team believes running off steam can only help.
Some of those are my best runs, to be honest, when I'm just, upset about something or just have something on my mind.
I'm not a runner, I don't look like a runner, I don't feel like a runner. Those are the people that I really want to connect with. One of our taglines for Still I Run is forward as a pace, meaning as long as you're moving forward, that is your pace.
And Still I Run isn't just for runners. Walkers like myself are invited to participate. Gordon says it's all about getting out in nature and everyone is welcome. Libby Dowsett, KGW News.